Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Color Tigger Together. We're using Copic markers, and first we're going to start off with our E34, E31, E30, and E000 to do around his eyes, his inner ears, and around his mouth. We're going to start with that E34 right above the top of his nose, add a couple little dashes underneath his drawn in eyebrows. We're going to go into that bottom of the inner ear and into his mouth, and we're also doing into the belly with that E34 color as well. I hope you've enjoyed coloring up these images. I think they're all super cute and easy to color. So next up, we're going in with our E31. We're gonna go over what we colored and slightly extend from where we colored, and we're not filling everything in yet at all. We're just adding a little bit more detail, like going under that nose and then under that mouth line a bit and into the chin and up into the cheeks and where his mouth turns up, and then again a little bit more into that belly. We're going to go on to our E30, and then we're going to start to blend some of that color in a little bit further in the ears, around the eyes, in the mouth, and the belly. A little fact about Tigger, if you didn't know, that Tigger was not an original character from the book. So the first book, which was in 1926, did not feature Tigger. It wasn't until The House at Pooh Corner in 1928, which was the second book, where he was introduced. I had no idea, but in doing a little bit of research about some of the characters, I found that out, and I thought that was pretty cool because Tigger has become such an iconic character in the Winnie the Pooh series. I really think all of them are pretty iconic in their own ways because they have their own personalities. They represent a little bit something different in, I think, all of us. So I really love these guys, and I think they're super cute. And again, this is a full-length video. It has been sped up to just about 1.5 speed, but just to keep it not too long for you guys. But we're going in here with the E000, if you didn't notice that. So just to soften everything up a little bit is what we are doing. But I want to know, what are you guys doing? Oh, here we are. Here's the E000 now. So this is just to kind of soften everything up, just get it a little bit lighter, get that blend going, and just make it a really cute blended texture. But yeah, let me know, how are you going to use this one? Are you going to use this for a card? Do you have in mind for somebody already? Did you already buy the set? Are you buying the set? What is going on? I'm pretty sure this one's going to sell out right away. So we'll see what happens, because a few times we've released the videos and the stamp sets have already sold out, or we've already had to order a second run. So we'll see what happens with this one, but I do feel it's going to be pretty popular. So again here, E000, just blending everything in, making sure everything looks nice and smooth and blended. So I'm going back in with my E30 a little bit, again, just to add a little bit of depth, because sometimes when you go in with a lighter color, you can lose some of that depth. So sometimes you just want to add a hint back in there, and that is totally okay to do. And here I am just going back in a little bit more again with that E000. It's all about finding a balance with your Copics, and if you don't like something, change it up. For the body, we're going to be using YR18, YR09, YR07, and YR04. YR04. That was a mistake on my part, sorry. So we're starting off with that YR18, which is our darkest color. I'm just using it tiny bit under the ears there, not a ton, just at the bottom of his face. So we're using this sparingly, and I'm going to stress this, use just a very, very tip of your marker. So these are smaller images, so you want to be very, very delicate with them, and especially around these stripe areas and in the tail as well. I know you can do it. I had to put my reading glasses on, I'm not going to lie. So, and that's totally okay to do. So we're just going to fill in some of that with that darker color. And let's see, what else can I tell you about Tigger? Catchphrase. He says TTFN. What does that mean? It's ta-ta for now. So that was actually done by one of the voice actors who played Tigger, and his name was Paul Winchell, and he was a very original voice actor for Tigger and the Disney adaptation. So I thought that was pretty cool. Digger would have been a cute name too, but I think for like a gopher, not Tigger. So this is our YR09, which is our next color, and we're just going to slightly extend again, keeping that open for the rest of our colors that we're going to want to add in there. So you can see we're just going into the paws, around the ears and the face. Now we're going into the feet and into the bottom legs and his tail a little bit. We're just trying to add little bits of color added. So next up is our YR07. And again, we're just going to slightly extend. We're just bringing that up a little bit more, and we're leaving room for our next colors, so the next one is going to be the YR04. So we still just want to make sure that we're leaving little bits of white space so that we can go back in. So finally, we're going to bring out that YR04, and then we are going to start to blend that in, and we're going from that white space over into the dark. So we're not pulling from the dark into the light, except like right here. So sometimes I contradict myself, and that's okay. You color however you want to. And that's one thing too. These are the colors I chose. Try something different. See what works for you. Maybe there's different oranges that you like. Maybe try a different YR. Add just a Y in there. See what happens. Maybe even one of the reds to deepen it up. Give a different shadow. There's so many things that you can do with Copic colors. Don't limit yourself. That's like a huge thing. Just don't limit yourself. Try and have fun. What else can I tell you about Tigger? Oh, everybody probably knows that song. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their tops are made of rubber. Their bottoms are made out of springs. So I don't know if you know that song or not, but there it is. Now his stripes are going to be E29 and E27. I hope my singing didn't kill you there. So we're being, again, very careful with how we place this with just the tip of our marker with the E29 starting out with that small. Now this space is so small. If you wanted, you could just use one marker. You might not be able to fit it all in there. It's a pretty small space. I don't think I managed to get in all the spaces, but I tried. So I don't know. You'll have to let me know. How did you color it? And definitely, if you are in our Facebook group, StampAnniething Stampers, post your projects. We want to see them. So next up is that E27 there, and I'm just adding that in a little bit and blending those stripes a bit. But yeah, if you're in the Stampers group, please post your projects. We would love to see them, and I'm sure everybody would love to see them. We want to see, what did you do with the stamp sets? What did you do to make it special? Did you use it in a card? Did you use scrapbook with it? Did you use it in a journal, a planner? We want to see it all. So I think I mentioned this in other videos, but depending on which one you've watched, if you've watched one or none, but this one, this Tigger was included in a card for our neighbor's daughter who turned 3, and she had just started to watch Winnie the Pooh, and her favorite characters were Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore. Which I don't know, if she didn't include Eeyore, I don't know what I would have done. But here's pretty special. Another thing about Tigger, so Tigger is actually based on Christopher Robin Milne's actual toy, and it is actually in display at the New York Public Library right now. So he was inspired by a true toy. Another thing about the stripes anyway is that the stripes are different depending on who animated it. So depending on who the animators are and were, Tigger's stripe can look different in every adaptation. So they might not always be the same. So there is our cute little Tigger, but he's gonna need a nose. All right, and for his nose, we're using E04 and R20. Famously, we use E04 for the basis of our chibi skin tones, and R20 we usually use for our cheek color and into the tongue. So here we are, we're gonna use that R20 to soften out that E04. Actually, these are the colors that we usually use for tongue, or at least I do. I use E04 at the corners and fill it in with the R20 in the middle. So this is going to give him a nice little shadowed nose, making him so cute. I have absolutely just loved and enjoyed coloring all these. I think that's why I did 4 coloring videos this time. 1, they were simple, they're easy, and they are so fun, and really, who do you know that wouldn't love a card with one of the characters from this set? So next up, I'm using a highlighter, a white Posca pen, which actually was a gift from Karen Engilder at last June's retreat. This has become like my favorite pen. I love it better than gel pen. But now he's got his final finishing touches. So thanks a lot for watching. It has been a pleasure coloring for you, and I hope to see you again. Also, don't forget that if you can, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.